Hey, I'm Dusty.
And I'm Lori. And yes, we're going there.
Tuff Topix is where we talk honestly about mental health. No fluff, no fake positivity.
Just real conversations, helpful tips, and the occasional awkward overshare.
Because let's be honest, we've all got stuff.
And you don't have to go through it alone.
This is Tuff Topix, real talk to help you feel a little better, one episode at a time.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Tuff Topix. As you can see, we've leveled up here a little bit. We're in an actual studio. We're being professional.
Absolutely. Although we are a little nervous, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of sweating.
I know.
Let's be honest.
We are outside our comfort zone of my kitchen table.
That was such a good comfort zone.
I know.
But if we had to choose a different spot, this is ideal.
Perfect.
This is perfect. This place has been so welcoming, so comfortable.
Easy to work with.
Absolutely. Yeah. So expect great things is what I'm saying. Whatever expectations you had before, prepare to be amazed. Prepare to have them blown away.
So this is sort of like our rebranding episode.
Yeah. We even have pictures. We're
working on the logo.
Yeah. We might have intro.
Yeah.
You're going to take off. Yeah. Someday you guys will be able to say that you knew us when
we were sitting at my kitchen table
on our little booth chairs. If you guys could have only seen, okay, now we're digressing, but if you guys could have only seen the stuff that went into our kitchen table episodes, we had lights. I mean, these are professional lights. Ours would fall over. A lot. Sometimes our GoPro camera wouldn't work. So it's all that to say, we're really glad to be here.
It took us a good hour and a half to set up stuff
for our 20-minute podcast.
And then we'd have to have our kids that were in their 20s help us. How do we turn this on? How do we do it?
I know. How many times did we Google something? Why is my GoPro not working? So we're really thankful for the people here at Weberized and that we're able to level up. We need to be grateful. I mean, think of all the people in the world that doesn't even have a good friendship like this.
Exactly.
So we are blessed.
Yes. And that's what we're kind of going to talk about today. We're going to go back a little bit and talk about our origin story and how we met and how we came to be therapists and why we do what we do and why we started this podcast and
like a reintroduction of sorts, right? And I think throughout our podcast, we probably have given snippets of our stuff, but I don't think we've ever dedicated a specific time to as an introduction. I don't think we really have.
Right.
So
this is a good time to do it.
Might as well, right?
Okay, you go first.
So on that note, right? Okay, so I am Dusty. I think our 4 followers know who I am by this point. I am a mental health therapist. I co-own Full Circle Therapy. We have offices in Omaha and in Iowa. And all right, well, that's. Do you want to do your introduction and then, go ahead. Say who you are.
Okay. So I am Lori. I am also a mental health therapist and I am at Sunflower Psychiatric and Mental Health Therapists or Mental Health Services, 114th and Dodge area in Omaha. And maybe we should talk about why we kind of decided to do this podcast too.
That's a good idea. Yeah. So it was originally your idea, I think.
I have great ideas that I don't know how to execute. That's the problem.
That's why we balance each other, right? Because I'll support any idea you give me.
Which is sometimes dangerous.
So okay. So it had to come after we were therapists. It didn't come while we were in grad school.
No, it was quite a while after.
Quite a while, right?
Yeah.
So I think we had talked about wanting to do something like this. I don't know if we knew exactly which direction we would go.
I don't know if we still know what direction we're going.
You're not supposed to say that out loud. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. I think we just wanted to do something.
Yes.
Something that was authentic to ourselves. It helps, hopefully, people, right? Gives back a little.
And just normalize the talks about mental health, normalize the struggles, normalize, that we are also humans and, that doesn't mean that we have it together and that we're walking through this thing called life along with everybody else. Mm-hmm. And then, I mentioned doing a podcast to you and you had said, oh, I was a guest on a podcast a couple weeks ago. That was so much fun. It was just casual and we just chit-chatted and I loved doing it. And we kind of just went from there. Didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
We ordered a GoPro on Amazon and
the rest is history.
The rest is history.
That's right. Yeah, that is, because I do think that was one thing that I had really gotten out of that podcast that I was a guest on. Mm-hmm. I was a guest. Yes. Was that it could just be this. Like, you know, I guess I always thought that it had to be like this super formal thing, like where only like experts do it. But I think our goal has really been to like normalize some of these things. But then that also means that we have to be honest and transparent and authentic. And we're able to do that with each other.
Yes.
So then this really kind of worked out in that way. We want to hold like a safe space for the mental health stuff, life stuff. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Right. And I think we've always been that way. So Dusty and I met in grad school.
Yeah.
When did we graduate? Did I figure out like it was 14 years ago? Is that right?
So I think I got my license in 2014. So maybe, no, I think it was 2014 that we graduated. So 10, 11, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
A long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we met in grad school. We were one of the few, you know, adults, older adults, non-traditional. Love it. Non-traditional. Students in the program.
Yeah.
So we really connected.
And I think, well, I know that was my very first class in the program.
Oh, okay.
And I showed up with my spiral bound notebook and my big pen and everybody had like iPads and MacBooks. And I remember thinking, what in the hell did I just get myself into? Mm-hmm. I do not belong here. And then you and I think we ended up sitting next to each other in lifespan development. Mm-hmm. That was my very first class.
It was one of my first classes. We just started talking. Yep. Yeah.
And I think I literally was like the kindergartner on the playground, like, hi, what's your name? Do you want to be my friend?
You didn't come off that way at all. I thought you were like super cool. I do think that one thing that joined us too, though, was probably our language of sarcasm.
Yes.
Because I do remember that there were sometimes I was guilty of, I'm probably sure Lori was not, that some of the young kids in those classes super irritated me. Uh-huh. And so sometimes I would like poke fun at them to Lori.
We'd write notes to each other on our notebooks with our big pen, like, gonna throat punch her.
Yeah.
Me too, back and forth.
Yeah.
And we started bonding over our annoyance of other people. And we were both kind of like in this, you were a true single mom. I was, my life resembled that of a single mom because my husband was gone all the time working. And we kind of bonded over that. Like, how do we become working single moms going to grad school? Mm-hmm. And I know I cheated off you a lot because she is super smart.
I don't know about that, but I think we definitely played on each other's strengths, right? Like so many things that you helped me with, hopefully things I helped you with, right? Like we really did balance each other.
Yeah.
I thought, right?
We did. Yeah.
That was helpful across, whether it was emotional or I don't know how many times we probably thought, what the hell are we doing? Like, why was I in grad school? It was so overwhelming. And I remember the day that we were done, I told you, if I ever think of going back to college again, you remind me of this moment. Remind me of these. Because I'm kind of a nerd. Like, I like school. Like, it's probably because I feel like I excel at it, right? So I could go get my PhD. Why? Dusty, stop it.
Well, okay. And let me tell you guys something about Dusty. This is the person that I do well in school, but I have to put in far more effort than you. So we'd meet, before class and study together for a test. And she'd be like, what test again? Like, what are we studying for? Like, what are we doing? And I'm like, I've been studying for this test for like 4 hours. Then we'd get our grades back and she's like, oh, I got a 97.
I think you're exaggerating.
And I'd be like, are you kidding me?
You're exaggerating.
No, I'm not. I am so not exaggerating. And we always did group projects together and we'd be like, you did this. And keep in mind, people watching this is kind of before Google is what it is now. There was no Chat GPT.
No.
Like, you actually had to study. Like, you had to really study.
You really did have to put in some work, right? Like, you wrote your own papers.
Exactly.
Like, they did not write it for us.
Yeah. And then do you remember in that class when Dr. Harrington was handing back the papers? And of course, you and I are sitting next to each other and she's like, you two got the highest grade in the class.
Oh my gosh, I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? That's the only time I've been told
memory.
Because it happened all the time. Dusty always got the highest grade in the class. It was just normalized
And
for
we're
her.
back. No, I think what that tells me is that I'm just a really good bullshitter. Like, I think I'm a good test taker just because I can kind of like
bullshit your way through the licensing exam. You're just
you can kind of like rationalize some answers. I think I'm lucky.
I think you need to give yourself credit. I think you're smarter than you give yourself credit for. But we joked as we went into, you have to do this thing called comps, where you have to take these comprehensive exams.
Yes. Comprehensive over the last 4 or 5 years of your studies.
Right.
And they don't tell, I mean, you have like, what did we have, like 8 topics that we were going, wasn't that like you get like 8 subjects and then you randomly have to be tested over 4 of them, 5 of them. You have no idea what it's going to be. It's kind of dumb.
Yeah. And it's like full on, like you get those little blue essay booklets. I don't know. Do they even use those anymore?
Probably not.
And you literally had to write
pages.
Basically like a thesis.
Yeah.
It was almost like a thesis for each of these.
Yeah.
So we're nearing comps and Dusty and I studying together and we were joking and we're like, they're only going to give us 1 diploma because we've worked at this together.
As they should have.
1 diploma that we have to share. You get it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I get it Tuesday, Thursday.
We really should have. I hope none of our clients are watching this because they're going to really think about coming to see us again. They're going to be like, I don't know about the quality of care I'm getting.
Right.
Oh, shoot.
But that was fun.
Yeah. But it really, I mean, thank God that I had you because, I mean, grad school was tough. So at that point, my kids were like, in 2014, I don't know, maybe like 8, 9, and 12 or something.
Right.
8, 9, 13.
We both had like early
year.
Elementary age kids. Like they were young.
They were young. And of course, like you still had other things to do. It wasn't just go to school, you know? So I so appreciated. I think that really built a foundation for our friendship.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we had to be authentic with each other.
Yes.
Otherwise, what were we doing? You know?
Yep.
So that's what led us to our friendship. We kind of identified what led us to our podcast is that we kind of had this idea. But if we go back one step further, what led us to grad school?
Yeah.
You know, like what got us there? Like, I think you had mentioned this maybe a few minutes ago, like what led us to even want to be therapists? Because that was not my original plan. Like that was not on my radar.
Right. You were going to go to law school, right? I was
going to go to law school. Yeah. Well, because, you know, when I was in high school, I was very idealistic about what was right and wrong. I really found some safety in black and white, right? So, of course, you go be a lawyer, right? Like you go save the world. This is right. This is wrong. That was my plan. I went and got an undergraduate degree, fully expecting to go to law school. And then my first husband, and I split up like the year before I would have gone to law school. So we split up like in December of whatever year that was. And I was planning on going to law school that following August. So I think I was planning on going to UNL. I had been accepted to UNL and Creighton, but UNL was just, a ton cheaper, honestly, right? And it's not like we were super rich. But then when we separated and eventually got divorced, that wasn't on the rate. That wasn't a possibility.
Right. Because that is a full-time job.
Yeah.
Like how would you work and support your kids and all that stuff while being in law school?
Right. And I'm sure people that maybe don't have kids can certainly do it. The people that do it, no shade to them at all, right? But there was no way I could have gone to law school in Lincoln all day and then come home and worked and had 3 small children at home. Because when my ex-husband and I separated, my kids were like 1, 2.5, and 5. There's no way that was going to work.
No.
So that changed up things, right? And so I didn't go to law school. I was working Douglas County, and then I took a job in Council Bluffs at a therapy place, doing like in-home work and that kind of thing. And then my sister and I had the idea of opening our own therapy place because she was already a therapist by that point. And in Iowa, they do an in-home service that you can do at a bachelor level. So at that point, I was doing that. But then I thought, well, I should probably become a therapist, job security, education, that kind of thing. So I'm like, why not? So I had just started a business. I had small kids at home. Decided to go back to grad school.
Yeah. And I remember, like, if you don't mind me throwing this in there, you had lost your sister and there was custody. You and Cammie taking custody of her kiddos and stuff too. You had a lot on your plate.
Yeah. But, it's good that you mentioned that. So, so my older sister and I had a younger sister, right? And her name is Nikki. And so Cammie and I went and looked at the place that we signed the lease for, like on a Wednesday, right? And we both were just like, okay, we're going to do this. It's going to be great. I mean, we just had a feeling, like we're kind of feeling people. And so we signed our lease, I think, on Friday. We saw it on Wednesday. We signed our lease on Friday. My great aunt had passed away. So we signed the lease, then we went to her funeral. I saw my little sister. She was at the funeral. She passed away that night. Like Friday night into Saturday morning, if I remember the days right.
I don't know if I ever knew that, Dusty.
But it's such a timing thing. Because imagine if that would have flipped. Imagine if she would have passed away. There's no way in the world we would have left our jobs where we got paid a salary. That was too much of a risk, right? So she passed away, and then Cammie took custody of my little sister's kiddos, and so we kind of shared that for a little bit. And we wouldn't have done it if it would have been the other way around. Isn't that interesting? It's like it's just timing, right?
Yeah.
Like all changes lead to where we're meant to go. But man,
and so by that point, you were probably like, okay, I've been accepted to grad school. We've signed this lease. Mm-hmm. There's no going back. Yeah. Were you like, I've just got to dig in and figure it out and do it?
And how many times do we do that as people, as moms, as wives, as sisters, as whatever, therapists, business owners, whatever, right? Where you're just like, well, I just got to plow through. I got to do it.
Yeah.
And that's a great strategy until you get to be, middle to later 40s. And then you realize I'm tired of plowing through, right?
Right.
You got to take a moment.
And that doesn't, yes, you have to, that's how you build resilience. That's grit, right? Mm-hmm. But also that doesn't negate feeling the feelings.
Absolutely.
And recognizing how hard this is and how, I mean, I'm sure people watching this hear that story and they're like, I would have just given up. I would have just, crawling in a hole and not come out. And you navigated all of that.
And I don't know. I mean, I guess there's just a part of me that didn't think about not, like, you just do it, right? Now, could have things been differently? Sure. But I really think they work out the way they're supposed to.
I do too.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. And again, not to take the element of you out of it. Mm-hmm. You made them work, right? Yeah. Give yourself credit for that. But
sure.
I do think, Yeah. Whatever your belief system, the universe, God, whatever it is, it kind of knows what it's doing when it comes to the life events. And
that saying that's like, we plan and God laughs,
yes.
Right? I don't really think God is laughing at us from up there. However,
I think he has a hilarious sense of humor. Well, I think I cracked that guy up.
In that sense, because we're hilarious. Right. I mean, we're two of the funniest people I know. But I don't know if he like laughs at us like Austin Powers, like ho 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 ho. She thinks she's going to law school. I hope it's not like that.
No. I think he's like, oh, those cute little children of mine, they just make me giggle.
They have no clue what's in store for them. Right. So then our job is just to trust. It's all going to be fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway, what led you to grad school?
The journey was a long one for me. I several different times in my life have done therapy, have gone to see a therapist. Mm-hmm. And the first time I was in high school in an eating disorders program. Mm-hmm. And, was meeting with my counselor there, really connected with her. She was super helpful. And I remember thinking, that's what I want to do. Because I'd kind of had nursing school in the back of my mind.
Okay.
And then I was like, I want to do what she's doing. And I don't know if I really remember what this series of events were, but then it just seemed like more practical to major in business, like get a business degree. It probably had to do with like credits and cost of tuition and, I can wrap up a business degree and go into corporate America for a few years. And had gone to therapy a couple of different times. And I always worked in like human resources or like talent development type positions. And so even in corporate America, I was able to really connect with people. And that's what I loved. Mm-hmm. I loved that. I never loved the, P&L statements and the, asset liability or not. I never even really liked the marketing or anything like that, but I liked that relationship with people.
Yeah.
And again, had gone to therapy a couple of different times for different situations, found it to be extremely helpful. Mm-hmm. And then when I started my family, I was a stay-home mom for several years, really honestly loved and embraced that, staying home with the kids. And then I was ready to go back into the workforce. And I thought I would just go right back into corporate America where I left off. Mm. And there's this funny thing that like your skills become outdated and there's gaps in your resume, which don't even get me started on that barrier for a lot of moms. Yeah. And I was getting job offers and stuff for, this was a while ago, but $9 an hour. Yeah. And after school care cost me $11 an hour per kid. Yeah. So I just sort of felt stuck. Yeah. I just kind of felt stuck for a while. Yeah. And then I just kind of started thinking about it and I was like, I want to go back to work. I'm ready for a career. I want a career. But if I'm going to go back to work, I'm going to go back to school first and do something that I really want to do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's when I started. And I kind of was always the queen of self-help books and stuff anyway. I always liked trying to solve the puzzle of people and trying to solve my own puzzle, like what's the missing piece. And I thought, if I'm going to go back to work, I want to be doing something that I really enjoyed doing. So I'm going to give this a go. And I remember applying for grad school and doing you have to do this panel interview. Yes. And you have to take a couple of different tests and you have to take a personality test to rule out personality disorders. And there's a whole process to it. And I remember being like, I don't have a plan B. Like if I don't get in,
if I have a personality disorder, I'm screwed.
Right. So how can I cheat on this test?
How can I cheat? Where's Dusty? We don't know each other then. That's one test you should not cheat off of me. Do you remember how stupid some of those questions was? This was what was it? The Myers-Briggs or something.
It was the MMPI.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Okay, so not to sidetrack, but those questions were dumb. Whoever wrote that, sorry. But it would be like, wasn't it like 2 questions you had to choose the one that was true? And one would be like, I fantasize about killing people. And the other one was like, I've never fantasized about killing people. And I'm like, have any of you guys ever been divorced? Because I fantasized about running over my ex-husband with my car. Did that count? But of course I chose the one that said no, because you know what you're supposed to say.
Right.
But anyways, I might have a personality disorder.
Don't we all a little bit?
We have a tinge. We have a tinge. Yeah. Yeah, but that was intimidating, wasn't it? You had to take all those tests. You had the interview. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But like you do such a good job of connecting with people. I could see how that path led you to that. Like I feel like you do that so well. So did you flounder during that process? Did you stay strong that you knew that that's what you wanted to do?
No, I stayed strong that I knew that's what I wanted to do. I just remember being super fearful about like, I don't have a plan B. I need a job. Yeah. I want a job. And I thought, well, then I'll just try again next year or whatever if I don't get in. And I suppose I'll work for $9 an hour. In the meantime, I don't know what else to do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I just kind of knew. And then like even starting classes and going back to grad school and stuff, I was like, I remember saying to myself so many times, I wish I would have stayed the course the first time. I don't know really what threw me off course going into business. But when I met with a therapist the first time and thought, this is what I want to do, I wish that I would have stayed with it. Okay. But then going back to your comment about you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plans, it was the right time, right?
It's timing, yeah.
So many things would have been different had I stayed that course. Yeah. So it was meant to be when it was.
I know. Well, and that's when I was thinking about today, right? And like I was jotting down some notes about this. That was kind of like my takeaway too, right? Like, is all of the changes like really do happen for our greater good, in my opinion, right? Like now again, whether you believe it's God or universe or whatever, because I would have never guessed. I mean, if I would have if I would have stayed the course to be a lawyer, I'd be drastically a different person by now. Good, bad, or otherwise, I would just be a different person, right?
Right.
My children could be different people. We probably wouldn't know each other. I mean, there's so many different things. Like, it really is just timing and kind of like trusting the process.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is like, not to simplify it, because that is very difficult to do, right?
It's so difficult.
We want to control. We want to be,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. We want to believe we're in
follow
charge.
The plan. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I also wonder too if it was like, so like for us, our first bout of college would have been the 90s.
Yeah.
Right. I also think that there was a different mentality around there. You know what I mean? I'm thinking people, kids these days, do have a different like idea about controlling or not controlling or planning or not planning. Like, I wish I could harness a little bit of that. I wish they could harness a little bit of mine too. But I wish that I could have harnessed a little bit of that too.
And I think that the younger generation too also has a different perspective about mental health.
Yeah.
I remember being in high school and like, the note or whatever to get out of school would be like doctor's appointment. Because God forbid anybody knew that I had to go see a therapist.
Right.
Because that meant that I was crazy. There was something wrong with me. I had to go see a therapist. And now, like in the past few years, I have literally had clients that, I had this one client a few years ago that she would go out to happy hour, with her friends and be like, well, my therapist said this today. And my therapist, like they're talking about it openly and comparing notes and learning from each other, therapy by proxy and all the things. So maybe that had something to do with like the timing aspect of it too, that
it could be.
I feel like this is a positive time to be, therapists, and psychiatrists too, they were called shrinks, like head shrinks. Head shrinks, it wasn't a very positive profession.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm glad that there's that shift.
Me too.
You know what I mean? Like, and obviously I think that's also kind of why we're here, right? Is that we want to keep facilitating that shift.
Yes.
That says like, guys, we've all have some bumps, like we've all, I mean, current, past, present, future, right? I mean, there's bumps along the way and it's okay. And none of us have our shit together as much as it looks like on social media.
And the people who want you to think that they haven't had their bumps and have their shit together are really the ones you need to watch out for.
Yeah, right.
They probably have the most.
They probably have some bigger struggles. Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I guess that's kind of it in a nutshell. Kind of like. I mean, of course, we both have childhood stories too. I mean, there's all this stuff pre-college too, right? Yes. But I think in a nutshell, that's kind of what brings us together.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
We're all more alike than we are different.
Absolutely. And I feel like the closer you get, like in proximity or in awareness or reflection or whatever, the harder it is to judge, right? So hopefully this podcast allows a little bit of space just to kind of get closer, right? And it's coming through us, so you get what you get. But like hopefully we can share some of that stuff that tends to be hidden a little bit, or not, maybe not even intentionally. Maybe it's just life. You know what I mean? Like I think we do a really good job. Like think of when a tragedy happens. We do a good job of surrounding a person, and then we all just go about our life. Yes. You know what I mean? What happens at that ripple effect, or what happens later down the road, Right. And those are some of the things we want to talk about. Like, like the complexity of grief and in our own personal lives and anxiety. And we both are slightly older, right? So non-traditional podcasters. Is that a thing? But like even what our next chapters of our lives want to be, like our kids are grown now.
Yeah.
How the next chapter might look different than what we thought it was going to look when we were in our 20s or 30s.
And I think that we need to, and we'll dive into this like when we do our planning session and stuff for that, but maybe we can kind of talk about the grief that goes along with that.
Yeah, true.
Like maybe this, next chapter of our lives looks different than we thought it would. And there can be grief that comes along with that. And
for sure. Yeah.
So yeah, right. We've got a lot of We've got a
lot
list
of
of
things to say.
topics that we're going to cover.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're always open to feedback too. Tell them,
Any
how to
ideas?
get a hold of us. Here's Dusty's personal cell phone number. Please call her with any
I prefer text, honestly. If you call me, I'm not going to answer. Let's be honest, right? So we, like with this whole like relaunching kind of like rebranding thing, we're going to have a better, more developed social media presence, right?
Yes.
Currently, we do have Facebook and Instagram. Is that it? We never really did the YouTube
I don't
thing
think
yet.
so. We haven't done YouTube yet.
We're in
We'll
the
get
process.
there.
We're in the process.
And we're going to start making TikToks as soon as we figure out how.
TikToks are the way to go. I mean, I've never made one.
Me neither.
So we're going to see how that goes,
Okay.
right? But I thoroughly
tuned for
enjoy
that.
watching them.
Me too.
I can easily. So yeah, we're going to be in the next TikTok.
And we have an email address, right?
It is what Tuff Topix, Tuff, TUFF Topics, TOPIX at gmail.com.
Yes, that
Yeah.
sounds about right.
Yeah. But again, you guys probably know us. You can get a hold of us at any point in time.
Yep.
So if you have anything you would like discuss, something that's weighing on your mind or something that you think would be, helpful across the board, we're always open to ideas.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try to be consistent of doing this every month. Now that we have some cool new digs.
Yep.
And do people say cool new digs anymore?
I do.
Yeah,
But I also say hip. I also say I'm so hip.
Somebody at the
which
gym
apparently
today
is
said-
not hip if you say hip.
If you have to say it is not, right? Somebody at the gym today said something was groovy. And I'm like, I mean, that person was older than me, so I did smile a little. But I'm
Yeah.
just like, man, this is what it's coming to.
But I feel like some of our 90s slang language is coming back.
Yes. Although, but some of it's wrong, though. So my nephew told me the other
wrong.
day
They are wrong.
that if you say someone's a drip, that's a positive. It means like their outfit is like killing it. Like that they're like really like that they've
No.
got some. I'm like, I thought it meant that they were kind of like a loser.
A drippy.
Yeah, like oh, what a drip. Like what a
Yeah.
drain. Wrong. So if anybody's saying that, be careful. Anyway, we're going to get with it. We're going to become hipper. Probably not. So feel free to reach out to us. We always enjoy getting together and chatting.
We do.
And we look forward to hearing from any of you.
Yeah, we're really looking forward
Yes.
to this.
And today's Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
So have a good, happy Friday the 13th, although you'll see this later. And we'll be back at it next month. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Before we go, don't forget to connect with us on social.
We're on Instagram and Facebook at Tuff Topix. That's TUFFTOPIX.
Follow, like, share, all that good stuff, and let us know what topics you want us to cover next.
Because real talk doesn't stop here. It keeps going in the comments.